is CEMTV. Reliable news and entertainment.
Is it time? I can't wait to see it.
Voice of the people, stories that matter.
Oh wow!
Truth in every moment, now and forever. Across every border, across every land, we form, we empower, together we stand. From Africa to the world, connecting every voice.
CEMTV main news on the hour. Remember, truth first, you next. Stay informed to stay empowered. I am Miabaka Ianegi with the news. We'll bring you the headlines first of the details later. Rivers residents speak on the economic hardship in Nigeria. NDLEA boss Marwa calls for stronger action to protect the girl child. 1 dead, 7 injured as a section of Gombe Assembly Complex collapses. Details in just a moment. Please stay tuned.
This is CEMTV, reliable news and entertainment.
We begin the news from Rivers, where power supply has been extremely poor for quite some time, creating serious challenges both for businesses and households, as many are forced to rely on expensive alternative sources of electricity such as generators. CEMTV News took to the streets to find out how residents are coping with the current electricity supply. The findings reveal that unreliable and inadequate power from the national grid continues to pose a major challenge for many households and businesses. While some residents complained of the poor power supply and how it has made life difficult for them, other respondents stated that the power supply in their area has been relatively stable. But the cost of electricity supply remains a major concern. They appeal for a review of the current tariffs to make them more affordable for small business owners.
Yes, we are paying some of the tax. They have the saving. They have a lot of saving. The expenses after they took the money, they need to balance it. And I want them to add more income to us, because I've heard some of my friends say they don't have gas, they economize their money. I don't really know, because me focus on my job, but they know the way they can channel it better so that we can have lights. Well,
okay, in the shop here at GRA Junction, the power supply is constant.
okay.
But the problem we have is this. The charges, they said it's Bank A.
Bank A.
It is constant. According to them, they said Bank A is constant.
Yes.
But the problem is the charges for Bank A is higher than the charges for Bank D.
Okay.
And we are always recharging. I was thinking the charges are supposed to be the same. And now we can spend more than 40,000 naira at the end of a month. Which indirectly that means that the government is extorting us. So the calibration of the meter, they did it to kill the masses, not to even encourage the masses like they do in UK.
Okay.
How can a man working use the whole of his salary to pay? So the issue of the prepaid meter, they should recalibrate it and restructure it and know that they are doing it for the masses. So what they are doing is like they want to collect every your income back to the government. You may remain a poor man, you cannot even take care of your children. That is wrong. It's a bad.
A resident of Aneka also noted that even though he uses the prepaid meter system, he still receives very little electricity. He further described the situation as frustrating and called on the government and the relevant authorities to take urgent steps to ensure a more consistent power supply across the communities.
When you're talking about basic amenities, light is one of them. You understand? You cannot be doing a business that has to do with power. Okay, people that says things that has to share their things, they go back to normal fuel. You understand? Which is like 1,000 something. You understand? Which is like 1,000 something. But if there is NEPA, it makes business easy for them. You understand? It makes business easy for them.
For many residents, the lack of consistent electricity leaves them with no choice but to rely on fossil fuel-powered generators to meet their daily energy needs. This reality underscores the need for greater investment in reliable electricity manufacturing infrastructure and accelerated access to affordable renewable energy solutions.
No, they see the light now. When they see the light, at least to the pay the money be the issue. But when they see on the light, nobody when we don't see light, because they pay. I don't want to invest people. Carry big because we don't see light. I don't know about people get from my own side. I don't even charge my phone, my laptop, everything they down. So now when I come this side, I find motor, I go plug my phone before I go finish it. So my own side, I don't see light at all. I don't see light. Try, make government try, make they improve this thing, make they improve the light, but I'm going to touch them because it's very poor now. Especially in my area, I don't know about the rest, but in our load there, we don't see light at all.
I don't know, but in my area, I have light. At least I can't. I do sleep with light till the following day. From, let's say, from 9 o'clock till 6 o'clock, I'm sure of having light. Okay. I don't know about in the daytime because I'm not always at home in the daytime. Well, I want to appeal to the government. At least they should try and ensure that we have a constant light that will help business owners. Yes, like those that are into this frozen food business, they need constant light that will help their business.
Moving on, as Nigerians continue to grapple with rising prices, unemployment and the increasing cost of living, concerns over the nation's economy remain widespread. CEMTV hit the streets again to ask citizens what advice they would offer to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu if given the opportunity to meet with him, and what they believe is responsible for the country's economic hardship. A respondent, Gilbert Okeke, blamed the country's economic difficulties on poor leadership, arguing that effective leadership is essential to managing resources and driving national development.
First of all, the leadership is not or go well for this country. This is the regime now. Number one, Tinubu or any other person with him should bet up. We are suffering in this country because of leadership. They are not leading us well. They are not leading us well, and they are not ready to bring somebody that will lead us well. I will advise him to lead well, handle his people well. Number one, this country has enough money to make sure that everybody is okay in this country. Everything, the sources are here. Yeah? But no one, all of them goes in one pocket or two. That is the problem.
The president should closely evaluate the performance of his cabinet members. He believes that while the president may be making efforts to improve the economy, some members of his cabinet are not delivering effectively.
The advice I will give to Tinubu, he should look all those their cabinet. He should sack many of these their cabinet people, like all these people that are working with them. He should look at them and sack them and bring in new people. And sack them because the Tinubu are trying in his own department, let's say in trying, but some saboteur they are in one corner, killing the government for him. So he should look at the government very well. The advisor should look at the government very well and sack those people. That's what I would tell him.
What a piece of advice they would give President Tinubu. Joy Etin Lucky said the government should prioritize creating more jobs for young Nigerians, noting that employment is key to reducing poverty and boosting economic growth.
Now government now, because they no provide work for people, so they need to provide work for people where they idle, so that they're not going to do otherwise. Because all these stealings where they steal, because of say the youth they no get work to work. They say the youth get work, they don't open like one company like that. The youth get work to work. All these things for no they no stealings, go they waka, then go they rob person. It's not supposed to they. So make them provide work for the youth so that the youth then go see waiting, then go use the chop. For instance, now they sometimes they go they waka they come they collect money from us. Because if they say they get waiting, then they do. They're not supposed to they waka come like that. They collect money from us, say this that.
Another respondent, Ubieze Anusem, appealed directly to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to visit different states across the country to see firsthand how Nigerians are coping with the current economic situation. He pleaded with the government to take urgent steps to address the hardship, saying many citizens are struggling to make ends meet.
Yes, mismanagement in the country. And the economy is too bad. People are suffering too much. Even me as a man, to eat 3 women is not easy for me. You come to my business, nothing is moving, everywhere is dry. So I believe the economy is the problem. So with the president look into the economy, then help people. People are suffering too much. Yes, I will tell him to look. You let him go to states. Look how people are suffering. Listen to people. People are suffering too much. Put the eye to the economy. Make things easy. Like this food now. See, food now is 1,000 something. Where you can pay one time before, they pay 2,000, pay 3,000. People cannot travel again. So when the economy is too bad. So Mr. President, sir, please look into the economy and know what to do before people die finish in this country.
The responses reflect the concerns of many Nigerians who continue to hope that government policies and leadership decisions will bring lasting relief from the country's economic hardship. On the national front, Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has called on wealthy Nigerians, particularly top entertainers, to support the fight against hunger and poverty by establishing charitable foundations to assist vulnerable citizens. The appeal came during the launch of the National Community Food Bank Program in Lokoja, Kogi State, where the First Lady said government efforts alone cannot address the country's growing humanitarian needs. She specifically mentioned music stars Burna Boy, Davido and Ashake, urging them to emulate philanthropists who use their wealth and influence to improve the lives of the less privileged. The First Lady said the National Community Food Bank Program is designed to provide nutritious food to children under the age of 6, pregnant women, nursing mothers, and other vulnerable groups. She explained that the initiative will operate through community-based food banks linked to primary health care centers to ensure efficient and transparent distribution. Meanwhile, fresh controversies has emerged over the alleged fake Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council, PFIPC, as civil society organizations and lawyers reject President Bola Tinubu's directive assigning the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, to investigate the matter within 30 days. The groups argue that the investigation cannot be seen as independent while officials linked to the allegations remain in office. They are calling on the president to suspend his chief of staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, to ensure that they describe what they describe as a transparent and credible probe. The controversy began after Matthew Adeyemi, who claims to head the PFIPC, alleged that he received an appointment letter from the Chief of Staff and that the agency was allocated 1.3 billion naira in the 2026 appropriation bill. But Gbajabiamila has denied any knowledge of the agency and has threatened a 10 billion naira defamation lawsuit against Adeyemi, who insists the council is legitimate, adding to calls for the independent inquiry. The African Democratic Congress 2027 presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar said Nigerians deserve the full truth and urged the investigation free from political interference. Also weighing in, the Executive Director of the Africa Network for Environment and Economic Justice, Reverend David Ugolo, said public officials connected to the allegation should temporarily step aside to prevent any perception of interference and to strengthen public confidence in the investigation. The ICPC is expected to conclude its investigation and submit its findings to the President within 30 days. Elsewhere, one worker has been confirmed dead and 7 others injured after a section of the new Gombe State House of Assembly complex collapsed on Friday in Gombe State. The incident occurred when a Cattle Verge entrance canopy under construction caved in at a project site, trapping 8 workers. The injured were rescued and taken to hospital for treatment, while one victim was confirmed dead. In response, Gombe State Governor Mohammed Inuwa Yahaya ordered the immediate investigation into the collapse. He directed the Ministry of Works, Housing and Transportation, in collaboration with relevant emergency regulatory and technical agencies, to activate established safety and accountability procedures. The governor also instructed the project contractor and supervising consultant to submit a comprehensive incident report within 24 hours to determine the cause of the collapse and ensure accountability. Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Mohammed Buba Marwa, has called for stronger collective efforts to protect the girl child, saying safeguarding young girls is a key to building stronger families and a more secure nation. Marwa made the call in Kaduna during the public presentation of the book The Shadow of Neem Tree, a book written by his daughter, Barrister Mariam Marwa Abdu. Is that protecting the girl child goes beyond government responsibility, urging traditional rulers, communities, civil society organizations, and other stakeholders to work together to eliminate harmful cultural practices and create opportunities for girls to thrive. Drawing from his experience as NDLEA chairman, Marwa noted that poverty, abuse, and lack of education continues to expose many women and young people to drug abuse and exploitation. He described advocacy as the first line of defense and stressed need for traditional institutions to help change harmful social norms. We move now to the African scene, where Google has announced a new wave of investments to accelerate artificial intelligence development, improve internet connectivity, and expand digital skills across Africa. The technology giant unveiled the initiative at its inaugural Cloud Summit in Johannesburg, South Africa, saying that projects are part of its, quote, Building for Africa, unquote, mission to strengthen the continent's digital economy. Among the key announcements is the construction of a digital exchange port in South Africa's Eastern Cape, the first 4 planned connectivity hubs across Africa. The facility will connect the continent to Australia through Google's planned Umoja subsea cable and establish a new subsea route to India, improving internet access and digital infrastructure. Google also launched Africa's first applied AI lab in Accra, Ghana, in partnership with Google Research, the Google AI Futures Fund, and venture capital partners. The lab will give African startups early access to Google's latest AI models to develop solutions addressing local challenges. Applications for the program will remain open until August 31, 2026. In addition, Google announced that applications for the 2026 South Africa cohort of the Google for Startups Accelerator will open on July 21. 15 startups will be selected for an AI-focused program offering mentorship, technical support, and equity-free funding, part of Google's commitment to support 50 African startups between 2024 and 2028. The company also pledged more than $1 million through the googles.org to support AI creative education and underrepresented African creators, and announced plans to establish a 3 million rand digital innovation center in Soweto to boost technology skills development. And on the foreign scene, nearly 2 million people have been evacuated in eastern China after Typhoon Bavi made landfall in Zhejiang province, bringing destructive winds into torrential rain. The storm struck the coastal city by Taizhou on Saturday evening, making a second landfall in Weizhou around midnight, prompting large-scale emergency operations. Chinese authorities evacuated more than 1.7 million residents in Zhejiang and thousands more in neighboring provinces to protect lives as the typhoon approached. Schools, workplaces, and outdoor activities were suspended, while about 400 flights and dozens of train services were cancelled due to the severe weather. Wenzhou, a city of about 10 million people, was among the worst hit areas, with hundreds of thousands of residents moved to safety. In Beijing, officials also ordered evacuation of 100,000 people to reduce the risk from the storm. Residents described terrifying conditions as strong winds ripped off roof tiles and snapped tree branches. And when the news continues, we still have more stories for you, including the following headlines. WAHO calls for stronger regional cooperation, sustainable healthcare financing, and greater investment in innovation. DJ Chicken arraigned over alleged threats against Sheyi Tinubu. Details in just a moment. Please stay tuned.
This is CEMTV, reliable news and entertainment.
You're welcome back. In health, the West African Health Organization, WAHO, has called for stronger regional cooperation, sustainable healthcare financing, and greater investment in innovation as it marks its 39th anniversary, saying these measures are essential to improving healthcare delivery across the ECOWAS region. The call was made by the organization's Director General, Dr. Melchior IC, In a statement commemorating WAHO's 39 years of coordinating regional health programs, he said the organization remains committed to strengthening healthcare systems despite evolving political and institutional challenges. IC highlighted key milestones achieved over the past year, including the adoption of a regional framework for malaria elimination, the Freetown Charter on technology and data-driven reduction of maternal and infant mortality, as well as renewed commitments to promote exclusive breastfeeding and increase domestic healthcare financing during the 27th Assembly of ECOWAS Minister of Health in Freetown, Sierra Leone. He stressed that emerging diseases, climate change, health security, digital transformation, pharmaceutical production, and sustainable financing requires stronger collaboration among ECOWAS member states. Dr. Aisi also reaffirmed WAHO's commitment to advancing universal access to quality health care for people across West Africa through continued partnership with governments and development partners. In business, as African Energy Week 2026 approaches, the conversation around energy investment is shifting from how much foreign capital Africa can attract to how much value the continent can retain from its natural resources. The conference, scheduled for October 12 to 16 in Cape Town, South Africa, will bring together ministers, regulators, indigenous and international energy companies, financial institutions, technology providers, and investors to chart the future of Africa's energy sector. Confirmed participants include senior executives from Owando, Seplat Energy, LSLB, Total Energies, Standard Chartered, Scotty Bank, the World Bank, the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation, and several African national oil companies. For decades, African governments measured success largely by the volume of foreign investments flowing into the oil and gas and power projects, while international firms supplied financing, technology, and project management expertise. African countries provided the reserves, licenses, and markets. However, industry leaders say that that model often left indigenous companies confined to the lower end of the value chain, without financing, engineering, procurement, and other high-value activities carried out outside the continent. Discussions at the African Energy Week 2026 are therefore expected to focus on strengthening local participation, expanding indigenous financing, building technical capacity, and ensuring Africa retains a greater share of the economic benefits generated by its energy resources. To the world of sports, Senegal have dismissed head coach Pape Theo following the Teranga Lions' exit from the 2026 FIFA World Cup at the round of 32 stage. Theo, who had been in charge since December 2024, endured a difficult tournament. Senegal lost their opening two Group 1 matches to France and Norway before a convincing 5-0 victory over Iran secured qualification to the knockout stage as the lowest ranked of the best third-place team. In a round of 32 clashes against Belgium in Seattle, Senegal appeared to be on course for a famous victory after taking a 2-0 lead with just 5 minutes remaining. However, Belgium mounted a dramatic comeback, scoring twice late in regulation time before Yori Tielmans converted a penalty in extra time to seal a 3-2 win. The Senegalese Football Federation (FSF) confirmed Theo's dismissal after what it described as a thorough evaluation of the sporting results and prospects of the national team. On entertainment news, controversial social media content creator DJ Chicken has been arraigned before an Ogba magistrate court in Lagos over alleged threats to kill Seyi Tinubu, son of President Bola Tinubu. The defendant appeared before Magistrate M.F. Onamusi on 3 counts bordering on alleged threat to kill, breach of peace, and violation of the Cybercrime Act. The prosecution alleged that DJ Chicken posted a video on his social media platform in which he threatened to kill Seyi Tinubu. According to the charge, the first count accused the content creator of threatening to kill Seyi Tinubu, while the second count alleged that he made and posted a grossly offensive and menacing message against him. Controversies contrary to Section 24 of the Cybercrime Act 2015. The third count alleged that his actions were intended to intimidate or embarrass Seyi Tinubu and were likely to cause a breach of the peace, contrary to Section 168D of the Criminal Law of the Lagos State. DJ Chicken pleaded not guilty to all the charges. The court granted him bail in the sum of 1 million naira with 2 sureties in like sum. One surety must be a government worker, while the other must be a community leader who owns property in Lagos State. Both sureties are required to present 3 years tax clearance certificates, Lagos State Residence Registration Agency, LASRA identification, National Identification Number NIN, and utility bills. The court also ordered that one of the sureties must be a blood relative of the defendant. The case was adjourned until August 3, 2026 for further hearing. And with that report, we conclude the news on the hour. But before we go, a recap of some of the headlines. We told you that Rivers residents have spoken on the economic hardship in Nigeria. We also informed you that NDLEA boss Marwa has called for stronger action to protect the girl child. On the national front, 1 person dead and 7 injured as a section of the Gombe Assembly Complex collapses. In health, WAHO has called for stronger regional cooperation, sustainable health care financing, and greater investment in innovation. On the entertainment scene, DJ Chicken has been arraigned over alleged threats against Seyi Tinubu. That's it on this edition, but before we go, don't forget to follow us and watch also live on all our socials. It's CEMTV Plus across X, Facebook, Threads, and Instagram. You can also watch us live on Nigecomsat channel on a free-to-air decoder. You can also watch us live on YouTube, CEMTV Plus. You can also download CEMTV for Android from your Google Play Store. Remember, truth first, you next. Stay informed to stay empowered. I'm Mebaka Ienenge. Do have a productive day.